Today's question comes from Victoria in Texas. Victoria writes, my fiancé will finish his medical residency this year. He has $150,000 in student loans, $9,000 in credit card debt, and no emergency fund. When we first met, he always said that the best investment you could make is paying off your debt, but his priorities have now changed. He makes minimum payments on the credit card, deferred the student loans, and allocates the rest of his money, drumroll please, to cryptocurrency.
I have a little throw up in my mouth.
Isn't this crazy? He promises that he'll start paying off debt as soon as his residency ends, but it worries me that he prefers to invest in something that's risky rather than paying off his debt. Should I be concerned about this new obsession, or should I trust that he will eventually make his debt a priority? Man, so anytime somebody says, hey, this is an important thing for me, and you go, great, and then they change it on you, and they do something different, and then they say, hey, but next time, you can trust me, and then that changes again, yes, you should be concerned about the integrity of the person that you're walking alongside. Yes, you should be concerned, I think. I absolutely do, actually. In fact, the more I think about this, the more frustrating this gets. Because you've got a scared fiancé here, and you've got somebody who has some wisdom in one area of life.
I think you guys getting this straightened out prior to marriage is a deal breaker.
I agree.
And that's sitting down with your pre-marriage counselor and coming to terms with A, you're no longer aligned on how money is handled, and B, he's changed his mind. I'll tell you what I think has happened, and a good spanking in the marriage counselor's office will fix it, because he's going to get to choose between you and crypto, if you're my daughter. And so not because I hate crypto, but because of the way he's doing this and his whole process. So my experience of coaching is people with their finances, there are more broke doctors, medical doctors, than any other thing I run into. I mean, we see all the broke athletes or broke music people that make all their money and then they lose it all. But broke doctors hide it behind a BMW with a lease payment, right. And so people don't realize how bad their finances are. And when I've sat down with them over the years, they're unbelievably suck at how they handle their money.
That's what I was about to say. There's an arrogance built in, right?
That's exactly why.
I can take a heart out, so surely I know.
Surely I can do cryptocurrency.
Right.
And so what I smell is a young medical student who took his class on I am now God, I'm a doctor, and I know everything. And so he got downloaded the arrogant download, and that a good spanking in the therapist's office will fix that.
Or a good spanking in the market will fix it too.
Yeah, but I don't want him. I don't want to be attached to him.
I don't want him taking her down. That's
when
right.
You don't want to go down with the drowning guy here, because here's the thing, it's not what he's doing, but why he's doing it that's the deal breaker. Because if I'm right, if he changed from his common sense when he was humble to now I'm arrogant, and so I can play things that other people can't play, and I will come out. Which every time you play in a high-risk thing, that's involved.
Right.
You have to think you've got the edge on something that no one else does. I've got the ticket on this horse, so I can bet the farm at this horse race, and I've got an edge. And arrogance is what this is. It's pride. Pride comes right before the fall. Right. So that's what's the deal breaker. Because when it's not crypto, it's going to be something else.
It's going to be a new lease
payment. It's going to be another thing.
And
then he's going to go buy into a pizza chain, and that's going to go broke. And then he's going to go buy fried pickles. And then he's going to because he's so freaking smart. That is a deal breaker.
Right.
Because you're going to live a life of bullcrap sucky decisions to bullcrap sucky decisions to bullcrap sucky decisions. Right. It's just going to be one after another until this pride is broken. I know this guy because I was him.
As was I. That's what I keep saying, Victoria, I am this guy, right? I know a lot of stuff about a really small area of the world. This is how
Dave Ramsey went broke. Because I am inordinately good with math. I can see things. I can see a deal. I can feel math when it's on a piece of paper. I'm not good at a lot of stuff, so I could walk into a real estate deal and ding, 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 And I can tell you today, 35 years later, exactly what I paid for that property, what we spent on it, and what I made on it. Those numbers are stored. I can't get them out of my head. I see them. They're on a chalkboard in my mind, And so because I thought I was all that, that I went and built a dadgum house of cards, and it came crashing down on, guess what, my wife and my kid's head.
So I often find when I'm in one of these arrogant modes, or when I'm with folks like this, and I've spent a lot of times behind closed doors with medical folks, they can feel or sense that deal. They can't feel or sense the person they love sitting next to them in the driver's seat suddenly feeling like their lifeline just got cut, right?
Yep.
And yeah, I'm with you. The scary thing about this, Victoria, is this is a pattern that I've seen over and over and over and over.
So if he can become one of the smart doctors that is humble and realizes he's good at medicine and sucks at money and needs to do basic grandma common sense with money, if he can revisit that line, that's an indication he has become humble
and wise,
rather than prideful, and that is marriage material.
Yeah.
But it's not the detail of cryptocurrency versus paying off your student loans. That's not the detail. That's not the deal breaker. It's the why under it that is a reason not to marry this guy.
Absolutely.
Until you get this fixed. And so that's because you're signing up for a lifetime of heartache and crap falling down around your head. Because I tell you, the number of doctors who've earned 4 fortunes and only have one.
Yeah. With 3 wives too, right?
Yeah. And
2 husbands
when we do this stuff, when we're arrogant and we drag our families through the same thing.
Yeah.
And they get to go along for the ride. And I used to say, well, Sharon was really afraid when we were going through all this, and she would go, no. The word is terrified.
Yeah.
Not because of the situation, but because you kept doing it.
That's right.
Terrified. I terrified my wife. Victoria, you're terrified. I can see it on the page here, and you should be.